First off, what's your take on this 2-week ceasefire? How fragile do you think it is?
Well, thanks for having me, Haslinda. I think it's very fragile. We've already seen violations of it. We've already seen missile launches towards Israel and the Gulf area, and we've seen missile launches from Hezbollah. Again, we're hearing from the administration that this is expected. The message hasn't got down to these disparate IRGC cells that still have the capability to launch drones and ballistic missiles. So there still will be a threat. Leadership in Tehran can say that they are adhering to the ceasefire, but there are, I wouldn't call them rogue elements. It's by design that these disparate IRGC groups that are still operating will be able to fire, may cause damage, may not agree to this at all, may think that the negotiators capitulated. So we have to watch that.
Leadership in Tehran is fragmented, you say, especially when it comes to the IRGC. I'm just wondering whether, there is consensus within Israel itself, too, because there are two sides here.
Israel has already conducted strikes since the ceasefire in Iran based on those missile launches. One of the things, there were a couple of non-starters that were mentioned earlier. The regime believes that they can tax ships as they move through the Strait of Hormuz. That would be a violation of the ceasefire. Pakistan said, let's open this up for 2 weeks as a sign of good faith that you're willing to negotiate. And Iran is selling this as a win, and that Trump agreed to all 10 of their proposals, and that's just not the case. So I think the ceasefire is very fragile. It's good to see that the market is reacting the way it is, but this is day one of this tentative ceasefire, and we're likely to see the regime control who actually moves through and who's charged what and who is denied. So the IRGC should have no say in the transit through the Strait of Hormuz, but the regime thinks that they have this play.
Michael, let's be clear. It was also President Trump who said that the 10-point peace plan is workable, despite the fact that some of those demands made by Iran are non-starters, as we heard from Jumana earlier.
There's a good starting off point to negotiate over the next 2 weeks. But again, in the Trump True Social post, he also said the ceasefire goes both ways. So if Iran doesn't stop launching rockets and missiles over the next 24, 48 hours, then what happens? And I think the president is going to give the regime time to try to control these IRGC elements and probably allow for or excuse Iranian missile launches over the next 24 to 48 hours. But after that, what happens if they hit one of these ships? One of these IRGC commanders decides he wants to derail the whole thing. That's where we're at now, 39 days into this conflict.
Has the war backfired on the U.S.?
No, I've studied the regime for 30 years. The regime has never been weaker than it has right now. There's a lot of divisive politics here in the United States. The Pentagon has handled itself appropriately. The CENTCOM has as well. Our U.S. military has performed, in an outstanding manner. So has the Israeli Air Force. The tweets and the posts, those are meant for the regime. The regime that's actually in control of Iran is an apocalyptic regime. They believe in the 12th Imam. They're called Twelvers. They believe if they have a nuclear weapon and they're able to attack Israel and take back Jerusalem, that the 12th Imam comes back. So Trump's language, very abrasive, was designed for them. And if that brought them to the table to get the ceasefire in place, then it worked. But as far as backfiring, I would also say that if we just stop and nothing changes and the regime is able to just build back to where it was before Operation Epic Fury, then this would have been for nothing.